Welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast. I'm your host, Abby Hegney, and I am here to help you create habits that last, lose weight for good, and feel confident in your own skin while living the life that you love. I'm a board-certified health and weight loss coach, and I believe that no matter how busy your life is or how many things that you have tried in the past, you can lose the weight that you want to lose and confidently keep it off. Every week, I bring you simple, real life tips to help you do just that. Because weight lost, living the life that you love, is weight lost forever. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 88. Today's episode I titled Unlearning the Body You Were Taught to Want. This episode feels so personal to me, and I know that I am not the only one. I think so many of us women struggle with this idea of an ideal body. I know I spent years and years and years chasing a body that was never mine, feeling like a failure, believing that I couldn't do it. But when I learned to quiet my inner mean girl and I unlearned the body that I was taught to want, and I started to focus on getting to know and understand and respect and appreciate my own body, that's when I realized that I wasn't failing at creating the body that I thought I was supposed to have, but instead I was succeeding at building confidence in my own body. And that has literally changed so much of my life. As I look back on all of those years that I struggled, it's so clear to me that the ideal body, the quote unquote ideal body I had in mind, was learned. I didn't wake up thinking that my legs should be longer or thinner, or that my stomach should be flatter and my chin should be more defined. I didn't wake up thinking that the perfect body was toned but not bulky. I didn't wake up thinking that skinny was better or that happiness or confidence depended on the number that I saw on the scale. My ideal body was handed to me through magazines and ads and TV shows and movies. It was formed by taking all of those images of the ideal body and then going out in the world and looking for women that had bodies like that. It was solidified by standing in the grocery line and seeing taglines that claimed things like, your best body is just 14 days away, or slim your thighs with these 5 easy exercises and flatten your tummy and feel more confident by summer. Confidence, pride, feeling good in my own skin, all associated with changing my body in a very specific way and changing it quickly. All of that sending messages that my body isn't good enough the way that it is, that my body should look like that, not this. And I think even more detrimental is the message that confidence, happiness, pride, joy, and love for my body happens when I look like those pictures. These things and so much more. I mean, nowadays we have social media and the algorithm. And as soon as we see one thing, we see more of that same thing over and over and over again. I looked at a page that popped up the other day. I think it was like a Pilates workout because I'm very into incorporating Pilates into my routine right now. And this particular page was, I don't know, like a 20 something. And now my feed is filled with 20-year-olds going to Pilates and working out, which I want to be very clear, I think is fantastic. Anybody who's taking care of themselves, like, bravo, kudos to you. Let's do it. More of that. But also, I am not 20 years old. I do not have a 20-year-old body. I have a 43-year-old body that is a mom of two kids, and that is the body that I love. It's the body that I feel really confident in right now. It's the body that I have grown to love. That took a lot of unlearning, a lot of quieting my inner mean girl. Had this happened 10 or 15 years ago when I was still struggling with that negative self-talk of my inner mean girl and going down the spiral of compare and despair, today's algorithm would have been the end of me because I would have believed that that is how I should look. What ends up happening is these things, the women that we see in magazines and now on social media and all of the ads that we're fed, it starts to become more about others than about ourselves. When I was chasing the images that I saw in magazines, it was never about my health or my confidence or how strong or good I felt. It was about looking like them. It was about validation. It didn't matter how I felt. It mattered if people noticed. You look great. I wish I was as motivated as you are, or you're so skinny. But those times when I was trying so hard is when I felt my worst because I wasn't really taking care of myself. I was doing a lot of things, but I was doing them for all the wrong reasons. I was doing it for approval and to not be judged. And yet I was the one judging myself. I was criticizing myself all day, every day, thinking that I wasn't doing it right. I was the one carrying these stories, believing that I should look like the women that I saw in those magazines. And because that's what I believed, because those are the stories that I was taught or that I learned, I looked for proof of them everywhere. You know, that's how our brain is wired. When you believe something to be true, your brain searches for evidence all around you that it's true. It's why if you start thinking about pink cars, you'll start to see pink cars everywhere because that is what your brain is looking for. The same is true for these ideals we shape in our mind. Bodies, money, success. When we believe that we need to look a certain way, or we seek approval or validation and we make it more about others than ourselves, what we are really doing is making our bodies the problem. When your body is the problem, it's not about getting healthier or feeling more confident in your own skin. It's not about creating healthier habits or losing weight to feel good. It's about fixing yourself. You do not need to fix yourself. You are not broken. You are whole and capable. And what you really need to do is to unlearn the body that you were taught to want. Working really hard, doing all the right things, thinking my body should be different, punishing and criticizing my body did not change my body. At least not ever in a lasting way, because it never felt good. The journey to get there didn't feel good, and the way in which I had to stay there because of how I got there certainly did not feel good. It's why I struggled for so long. It's why I lost weight only to gain it back. It's why it was always all or nothing. Things really started to change when I stopped trying to change or fix or make my body something different than it was. And when I started to take care of my body for me instead. When I stopped demanding things of my body and started to get curious about what my body was capable of, I started to notice how my body responded. Things changed when I started to focus more on what made me feel good, not feel good in the moment or feel good because someone else acknowledged it, but in a deeply rooted sort of way, a way that made me feel proud and energized, a way in which made me feel respected and taken care of. When you do things that make you feel good, again, not the in the moment, I eat this or I buy this sort of thing and feel good for, I don't know, what, 30 seconds, but things that you do that make you feel good long after you do them, you will want to do more of them because you get a taste of how good it feels. You get a taste of the energy and the motivation it creates. Your body starts to crave that. That's why taking the small steps that most people ignore or disregard is so powerful because it gives you that taste. The more that you do things that make you feel good, the more you want to do things that make you feel good. That doesn't come from a place of pressure or having to do more. It actually comes from ease. Unlearning the body that you were taught to want doesn't mean that you stop wanting to lose weight or stop wanting to create healthier habits or feel better in your own skin. It's actually quite the opposite. Unlearning the body that you were taught to want allows you to learn you. It opens you up to more awareness, more understanding, more knowing of what works for you. And that is where you build confidence. That is when you feel empowered to make decisions that align with what you want, decisions that move you closer and help you to reach your goal with more ease, with less comparison, with less giving up, with less starting all over again. So many of my clients will come to me feeling frustrated that they've tried everything and that nothing works. Many will even spend the first few weeks that we're working together feeling the same way. But as we work through those stories and the resistance and the hard that they have been carrying with them, things start to shift. They start the unlearning process and they allow themselves to let go of old rules and restrictions and the struggle that always was. They enter a flow state where things just start to click. The habits that they have been working on start to feel easy. The weight starts to come off, and it shocks them because it doesn't feel as hard as it always has. That is when I know that they've got it. They have not only changed, but they have started to transform. They've let go of someone else's ideal and have shifted back to themselves. That is the most empowering shift that you can make. So today, I want you to think about what you need to unlearn, what you need to let go of, what struggle you are continuing to carry, and what ease you may be rejecting because you aren't letting go of the struggle. Are you doing it for you or are you doing it for others? You can want to lose weight. You can want to change your habits. Those are all incredible goals. But check in with yourself. Why do you want those things? If it has anything to do with others, with approval or with avoiding judgment, I want you to think about letting those things go and think about what it would mean to you. If nobody else ever noticed, why is changing your habits or losing weight important to you? You can even ask yourself, would I still choose this if no one ever saw my body? Check in with yourself. Are you ignoring your body or are you getting to know your body? I just had a call with a client the other day, and we were talking about how much awareness and knowledge she has developed about her own body. Awareness and knowledge that she is putting into practice because being aware and knowing doesn't change us. But putting it into practice, that changes everything. She now knows how much food makes her feel good versus when she's overeating and feels frumpy and in a slump and low energy. She now knows when she needs to rest her body and when she's gone too many days without moving her body. She knows when she's making excuses and when she's honoring what her body needs. When we approach this weight loss and when we approach change from this place of needing to get there and to get there fast or to look a certain way, often what we do is ignore our bodies. That's why so many women go through the motions and do all the right things and can't keep the weight off. They are focused on getting there more than getting to know their own body. I want you to think about what if getting to know your body was the thing that not only got you there, but allowed you to stay there with confidence. I know for sure this is what changed it all for me. I opened myself up to acknowledging and then eventually appreciating and then liking and then loving my body instead of hating it. I chose to listen to my body instead of making the demands that I had always made of it. And instead of needing my body to do whatever it was that I wanted it to do, I started to just simply explore what felt good. I experimented with different workouts and different ways of eating, and I had fun with it. I found what worked for me. And from there, it became less about the scale and more about living my life in a way that feels good, and less about being skinny and more about feeling strong and confident, and less about what other people thought, and so much more about what I thought. That has resulted in habits that are solidly consistent in my life, but also flexibility to allow for life to happen, to miss days, to have weeks out of my norm, and still feel taken care of. I have gained so much confidence in my body as my body. I know exactly what works. I know exactly what makes me feel good. I know that my body is capable and I love challenging it and seeing what else it can do. I also love resting my body. I love gentle movement to support its recovery, things that I never would have allowed in the past when I was chasing some ideal body because it never would have been enough. Now I crave rest and recovery. I know when my body needs it because I know my body. If you are chasing a body that was never meant to be yours, if you are struggling to acknowledge, to appreciate, to accept, or if you are struggling to get to know your body, I want to invite you to stop. I want to invite you to get to know your body, to let go of what you think it should be, and to see what it's capable of when you pour love and respect into it as your body, when you honor it and challenge it in the best of ways. I want to invite you to do things differently, to see how good it can feel. I want to invite you to lose weight on your terms, terms that allow you to keep it off with confidence. I want you to imagine what that would be like for you. What would be different? What would your life be like? How would you feel? What would you no longer be carrying around? You deserve to feel confident in your body. And everyone around you deserves the version of you that feels confident in her body. Think about that. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that it inspired you. I hope you take whatever inspiration came up for you and you turn it into action and then into transformation. And I would love to help you do just that. Schedule a consultation. Let's talk. Let's unlearn the body you were taught to want and fall in love with your body. All right, my friends, that is all for this week. I will talk to you next week. If you are loving this podcast, please subscribe, rate, or review. Or if you know someone who would benefit from this message, please share it with them. And if you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, to create habits that make you feel amazing, to lose weight and confidently keep it off while living the life that you love, I invite you to schedule your complimentary 60-minute consultation. We'll discuss where you are, where you want to be, and how my Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl method can help you create the future that you want. You can find the link to book your call in the show notes, or you can also connect with me directly on Instagram at Wellness with Abby H. I can't wait to talk to you.